Today I'm going to show you how to crochet these beautiful puff daisy flowers, which you can use as appliques, accessories, or make a bunch of them and crochet them together to turn them into blankets, clothes, wall decor, or handbags. And you can do that because the yellow yarn does not show on the other side, and I'll show you how to do that. How cute are these puff daisies? And they are so easy to make. You'll end up with a bunch in no time. And I have made them in different yarn weights so you can see how they look like. This is double knit yarn, light worsted, this is Aran worsted yarn. These are the most used yarns. And then we have the bulky and super bulky yarns. And this is, you can use this with chenille yarn and they'll look nice and squishy, and look how big it is. And of course you can play with the colors and make them in different colors. These are like forget-me-nots, cherry blossom, corn flowers, and of course the sunflower. And you can make a very colorful bag or blanket. So let's get started. These are the materials you will need. These are the abbreviations I used. The written pattern is in the description. Start by making a magic ring, and if you don't want to make a magic ring, chain 4 and slip stitch into the last chain to form a circle like this. Now chain 1, this doesn't count as a stitch, it's just for height. And then we're going to crochet into the magic ring and over this yarn end, and we're going to make 6 half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then this is how you make the half double crochet, and then make 5 more. That's number 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one, 6. And once you have 6 half double crochet, pull the tail to close the magic ring. Pull it tight, make sure you don't break the yarn though. And then we're gonna slip stitch into the first half double crochet we've made in a round to close the round. And this is our first round. Now turn your work and chain 3. We are going to work on the wrong side, and the puff stitches are going to show off on the right side, so away from us. Now the stitches are this side, so make sure when you insert your hook you insert it through the stitch, not through the loops that are shown here. So let's continue and make our first petal. So into the next stitch, which is this stitch right here, we're gonna make a puff stitch, and to do that we yarn over, insert our hooks into that stitch, yarn over and pull up a long loop, as long as you can pull it, like so. Hold it with your thumb. Now yarn over and into the same stitch, pull up another loop and another one, and we're gonna make 8 in total. So we did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And don't worry about the gap, it will be covered by the center. Now to close the puff stitch, we're gonna yarn over, angle your hook to point downwards so you won't pick up any of these loops, and then we're gonna pull through, except this last loop right here is the chain 3 that we've made. So except that, pull through all those loops like that. So we leave the last loop on a hook. Now we have 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 3, and into the same stitch make a slip stitch like so. And as you can see, the puff stitch is with the wrong side towards us and the right side on the right side, and this is how it looks like. Now we chain 3, can actually crochet over our end. So let me just pull it out to the next stitch, and we're gonna crochet over it so we don't have to weave it in. That's my least favorite thing to do in crochet, so if I can avoid it I will. So we chain 3, and now from the other next stitch, so make sure you turn it around to pick up the right stitch, including the tail. So tail and then stitch like so, yarn over and pick up a long loop, just like this, as long as you can pull. Now yarn over, hold it with your thumb and into the same stitch again, and we're gonna do this 8 times in total. So this is number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, just 8 times, 8 times in total. Now yarn over, pull through all except the last one, and if you did it by mistake like me, just go backwards and undo it. Now yarn over, pull through all 2 loops, and then yarn over and make 3 chains, and into the same stitch we are going to make a slip stitch like so. And now we have another petal, and we're gonna make 6 petals in total, 1 in every single stitch. So let's do that, and then I'll show you how to make the center. Chain 3, yarn over, don't forget to pick up the tail, and then turn your work around to pick up the stitch, next stitch, and pull up your long loop like that. 8 loops. Then yarn over, angle your hook down, pull through, leave the last one on the hook. You have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 3 and slip stitch into the same stitch like so. And another petal finished. Let's finish the other 3. Loops, then crochet them all together, chain 3 and into the same stitch again, slip stitch, chain 3 again, into the next stitch, pull up a long loop, and then again 8 in total. So now last loop and last stitch and last petal. So don't forget to turn your work around and find the stitch, and then long loop again 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and chain 3 and slip stitch into the same stitch, and we are done with the petals. We can cut this tail, it's already weaved in, we crocheted over it, it will not come undone. Let's cut this yarn as well, pull through, and we can weave in this end. This is your puff flower. You can leave it as is if you like. I like it with the 3D center. It looks more like a flower, and it looks a lot better for applique and hair accessories and, you know, bag charms and things like that. It looks a lot better, and it looks finished with a center. So I'll show you how to do that. First, let's weave in the end, and we do it on the wrong side, and we're just gonna push the needle through the stitches, through the loops, back and forth a few times. Don't go through the front. Make sure your needle doesn't go through the front. Okay, so done with that. Cut it. And we have our flower. The center of the puff flower is made the same as the petals. I will show you how to join first. So bring your yellow yarn, make a slip knot, and leave it quite big, like this. Leave the loop quite big. Now insert your hook from the right side through the first petal and out in the next, that stitch there, and we're going to pull this loop through, making sure we're not pulling that knot, so like this. And now you can pull a little bit of yarn and make sure the knot is tidy like that. Now from here we're gonna chain 4, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and into that last chain right here, so the 4th chain, we're gonna do our puff stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook into that loop, yarn over, pull up a long loop, and we're gonna do this 5 times in total. So we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you want it fuller, you can make it you can make 8 loops. 5 to me is fine. Don't worry about the big gap right here. Once we weave in the end, it will tighten. So just like the petals, yarn over, pull through all these loops except the last, and then yarn over, pull through the 2 stitches, and then we're not going to chain or anything like that. We're gonna fasten off. So cut the yarn and then just make a chain to close it like so. And now we have this poof stitch which is attached to one side, and then we will use this tail to attach it to the other side, but in a way that the bottom remains clear, so we don't have any yellow yarn, any ends or anything like that, because maybe some of your projects, like maybe baby blankets or anything you want to do, you don't really want to see this yellow yarn. So let me show you how to do it. So now, opposite to where you have joined, opposite to that, insert the hook under one petal and pull it out through the other petal. Then pick up the tail and pull it through like so. So now we have 2 ends right here. I'm gonna bring this to the other side so we can make a knot. We're gonna make a knot and hide it right there under. So let's do that. Make sure you don't tighten it too much. It's not about how tight it is, we just have to make a double or triple knot. Just make sure this will not come undone, and it will be hidden right here under the yellow thing. So now if you want to double secure your ends, you can actually weave them in inside here. So let me show you how. First we thread it through. Okay, so you can see it's right here. You don't really want to cut the yarn right next to the knot, it might come undone. So what we're gonna do is just weave in the end through the middle of this poof stitch very loosely. Don't pull it too much, very loosely, and then back to a different point like so, and you can cut it now and do the same for the other end. Okay, like this, and just very loosely. Make sure you don't see the yarn, and then through the center like this, and that's that. We're gonna cut this one too. And this is our daisy flower. This is how it looks like. You can see now it's got a 3D center. It looks so much better than just a plain flower. There are no yellow ends at the back, and this is perfect. Now you can turn it into hair clips, back charms, keychains, anything you like. And yeah, this is how you crochet a poof stitch daisy. If you have any questions about the pattern, put them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer you. Happy crocheting!